Peter Kyle, in the same conference, said, people forget what you say to them on the doorstep in 30 seconds. It's your tone and attitude that they remember. And it's like, yes.
That's
perfect.
such a fucking nonsense.
Yeah. It's like, maybe...
That's the kind of thing only you could get out of Blairism, where you just don't deliver any of the shit that you say you're going to do. And they keep electing you because there's no one else. Yep. And you take that captive audience and you think, these fucking rubes, these fucking idiots, they're not listening to a word I say.
And we saw it die.
Yeah.
And it's back.
It's back with a knife sticking out of its chest, and it's lurching towards us.
Nothing will ever change so long as none of these people ever change, because it's just the same shit over and over and over again, just totally sort of flattened out, denudative memory, denudative materiality, just words being thrown at words.
The good news is we tried one thing, which was we tried to take over the Labour Party and kick them out of it. That didn't work.
No.
So that leaves us with, we try stuff out with the Labour Party and we go fuck the Labour Party, have fun doing your little Twitch streams with 100 people, talking about how you need to develop
all of those people have columns.
Exactly, that's true. That is true. But I think I'm tremendously grateful to Corbynism for showing us that, like, we can't just do this stuff from like within and against the Labour Party.
The Labour Party, we are on a path to Twitch partner, and I suspect within the next 6 to 9 months we will be there. Tony Blair has given us 100 bits. Thank you.
We have unlocked 3 emote slots, and all of them are Keir Starmer's face, just in various kind of stages of redness.
Mandelson goes on, saying, Keir must go further and faster. He must be...
welcome the Prime Ministers.
He must be the 21st century Kinnock and Blair rolled into one.
Oh, Neil Kinnock, the famously popular leader of the Labour Party.
I think the idea is crush the left and get elected.
Yeah, fall in the sea, point one, and then invade Iraq.
Yeah, but it's your reference points are when you were last successful at the top of the world. Like, that is your reference point, and we are trapped in the dreams of these like fucking zombies.
Damn near 25 years ago.
And they won't even learn the productive lessons you could learn from Blair, which is, first of all, people don't trust you if you don't do any of the things you said. And also that, like, be fucking charismatic. Like, be on top of the media. Like, do all, like, there were lots of things that Blair did extremely well. That was why he was so successful for a time, until it became apparent what he was actually doing. Don't do that part, but do the bits of Blair which involve being very good at convincing people.
Okay, you've pointed this out before, Milo, right? It's that it is because it is a zombie. Okay, in the movie Land of the Dead, the 4th of George Romero's Living Dead series, right? The zombies have at this point stopped being purely a shambling horde and have started beginning to perform almost simulacra.
You're suggesting that Tony Blair is the gas station's leader zombie from Land of the Dead? I have
literally written down that Tony Blair is Big Daddy from Land of the Dead.
looking much the same. Yeah.
Looking awesome.
Looking about as good.
Where in Land of the Dead, the zombies begin just like performing facsimiles of what they would do when they were alive. Right. For example, the gas station attendant, who's kind of the head zombie,
I welcome the brains.
He sort of is sitting in his gas station, and then he just pulls out a gas pump and then sticks it through the window of a car and just turns it on. No one's in the car. This isn't a sort of scene of peril. It's just like him trying to work, sort of his brain kind of flickering.
Reconnect the neurons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it is why I sort of keep, and Alice, like, this is something that comes from what you and I have talked about. Why zombie is the perfect way to talk about this is that you can see them reconnecting the neurons of getting the magic of the 90s back in the progressive Britain context. But then Keir Starmer trying to be the sort of charismatic professional Kinnock and Blair rolled into one essentially ends up being to that as Big Daddy is to being a gas station attendant.
Yeah, he tries to do the thing and his arm falls off or whatever.
And it's the same thing.
His armor physically falling apart would be an amazing visual metaphor.
And if you remember, like the basics of the sort of third wayism that they're unwilling to let go of, right? And again, I know that if you are a politician, you have your own goals, whatever. But like if the analysis of it on its own terms, it turns out to be that if there's going to be a generalized period of economic growth, you're going to be able to like negotiate a settlement with capital where you get to skim some of it off to do increased funding of social programs and stuff, but without challenging the orders of ownership and production that will come to be problems later.
No, and you have to, in order to do that, you have to set a bunch of bombs that are going to blow up later on in terms of things like private finance initiatives and so on.
Chekhov's bomb.
Yeah.
Chekhov's Unibomb.
Yeah, Chekhov's hospital loan.
That's right.
Right. So and just reading through the sort of contents of this conference, it is so clear to me that these lessons are intentionally not being learned. It is the classic ultimate British trait of aggressive and obstinate stupidity on purpose.
Yeah, militant ignorance.
We love an idiot in this country, and in that respect, Keir Starmer is destined for success.
Stella Creasy says also they're going to implement UBI in the areas that need it the most.
Cool. If you means test it, it's not UBI. It's just BI.
Yeah, I mean, and there have been like pilots of UBI that happen in cities so that people can study them, but if it's UBI... It's got
this is the thing about UBI is it's got to be you. You got to have the U in there. Otherwise, that's one of the three things I would say that makes it UBI.
Well, the thing is, UBI is a popular policy, and as far as Stella Creasy is concerned, the U in UBI stands for UBI.
Yeah, right. UBI basic income.
Yeah, UBI, the Swiss bank.
You be having basic income.
That's right.
And then I've also read Tony Blair's article in the New Statesman. Which is very long.
No.
Look, someone has to.
Yeah. One page view and it's Riley.
I just thought it was weird how they had him write an entire article that just goes.
Actually, no, let's be fair. 100 page views. One is Riley, 99 are Andrew Adonis.
Yeah, exactly. Because he has to get them on all.
Guest edited by Prince Philip.
He has to add them on all sort of 99 of his screens in his Blair dome.
That's right, yeah. The Iron Blair dome.
He's in the Darth Vader thing where the thing closes over his head, but it's like entirely screens of Tony Blair.
Blair dome got me acting unwise.
So Tony Blair basically says, look, like center-left politics has to take into account technological change and nothing else. Kind of like the opposite of John Crudass from our last bonus episode. But what comes together with the sort of Blair discussion that we'll see in Crudass is that the idea that things could be substantively different through politics is excluded entirely as a starting point.
Well, the thing is, Riley, we have to have national ID cards again for the 50th time because people like going on the computer now.
Well,
since,
So
I love it.
I'm going on the computer even as we speak. Even as we record this, I am on the computer. My job
is going on the computer, to be fair. So Blair says in the New Statesman, we are living through the most far-reaching upheaval since the 19th century Industrial Revolution. A technology revolution of the internet, AI, quantum computing, extraordinary advances in genomics, bioscience, clean energy, nutrition, gaming, financial payments, satellite imagery, everything.
Gaming. I really want to know about Tony Blair's gaming policy.
Everything. Every sphere of work, leisure, and life is subject to its transformative power. The question is how it is used, to control humanity or liberate it, to provide opportunities for those presently without opportunity, or to put even more power, wealth, and opportunity in the hands of those already well off.
Why does it sound like dialogue from a bad Charlize Theron movie?
The question Tony Blair, of course, Tony Blair answers that question because that question to him is always, how can the market do it? Inevitably, he ends up answering the second question. But we talk a lot, right, about stupidity on purpose and refusing to see that for the last 10 years, we've been living through an accelerated version of the process Blair describes, and that all of the developments have uniformly been either in furtherance of foreclosure, regulatory circumvention, or just scams. Like, all of these people will look at, and I think it's especially bad in Britain, will just look at the, like, ad material for Lordstown Motors and then be like, great, time to make some policy.
Yeah.
Getting scammed is like the way of the future.
The British government gets scammed.
Yeah.
That's why it's so funny when the British government puts out those ads that are like, oh, by the way, there are people going around sending you these texts about how you should give them £2.50. Don't give them money because they'll take your life savings. And it's like, but then the British government is like, oh, Jeff Fairburn from Persimmon wants the government to finance all of these £500,000 apartments that have been valued at £500,000 by him and are built out of paper like the Armando Iannucci show sketch. We'll just do that. Because he's a mate.